I'm Rebecca Turner with the Office of Special Education and Early Learning. Welcome to the first presentation of our series on effective strategies for students with disabilities for new special education teachers. In this presentation, we will discuss ways to modify your classroom setting to help all students be successful. Over the next few minutes, we'll focus on 6 environmental supports that special education teachers can implement across settings to help students be successful. These supports include a structured arrival routine, creating boundaries, implementing timers, having a structured and visible schedule, using reinforcement, and creating individual calming spaces. From the first day of school, your routines and expectations should begin. Students benefit from predictable and structured routines. Start your year off strong by explicitly teaching routines and procedures for all classroom activities, including how students will move around the room, turn in work, and line up, and what reinforcement will look like. When students walk into the classroom, it's often necessary to teach procedures for each step of their arrival routine, such as how to put away your belongings, where items should go, and what to do to start the day. This may look different when students enter their general education classroom at the beginning of the day or when they enter a resource setting midday. So it's important to teach and practice what coming into the classroom should look like in both settings. Some students benefit from visual supports to break down each part of the routine. Arrival routine visuals may look like a checklist of each activity that should be completed, such as put away your backpack, get out your lunchbox, and start morning work, or visual cues to give reminders and build independence. Students may benefit from having additional color-coded prompts, such as having a red notebook that goes into a red bin for younger students, or using color coding for each subject and resources for older students. Many students, not only those with individual education programs or IEPs, can benefit from visual supports. Implementing whole class classroom management supports, such as a daily schedule, can help decrease anxiety across all students and provide structure to the day. Both general education classrooms and special education classrooms can have a visual or written schedule. Even something as simple as writing the schedule on a dry erase board and then wiping off or checking off each routine can be a helpful tool. A classroom-wide first-then board can be used to show all students parts of the routine more closely, such as first whole group reading, then small group reading, or highlight reinforcing parts of the schedule, such as first math work, then recess. Older students may benefit from a written checklist of the daily schedule that they can take with them throughout the day. Adding visual or physical boundaries to your classroom space can help better define spaces for students and how they should be used. Arranging a classroom to minimize open space for active play may be beneficial in an early childhood classroom, while creating a quiet, independent workspace away from the group for any student to access when needed may be helpful in a middle or high school setting. Using shelving, tables, or color-coded labels, such as "Your group is at the purple table right now," can help both students and support staff understand how classroom space should be used. For students that may need additional support, visual boundaries can be added to a carpet space or around a desk to define a student's workspace. A taped line on the floor may act as a visual boundary to show students that they should not go behind a teacher's desk. A stop sign on any classroom exit door may be beneficial to give a visual prompt that students should stop before opening a door without asking an adult first. Visual cues on or inside a student's desk can help students match where their materials should be placed to increase organization. While an individual student may benefit from a personal timer to show when an activity will begin or end, timers can also be used effectively with a whole group. By using a stand timer, visual timer, or virtual timer, teachers can set classroom timers to give students a visual of how much time is left to complete work or the length of time until the next activity. Building timers into your daily routine can be an easy way to decrease questions from students regarding how much time is remaining that may make classroom management even more challenging. Some students will have calm down areas written as part of the supplementary aids and services in their IEP. It's important to remember that all students can benefit from access to a calm down area in both general education and special education classrooms. Having a calm down area as a natural part of your classroom environment at the beginning of the year and teaching explicit directions on how to utilize it will ensure that you're prepared if it is needed by an individual student throughout the year. Calm down spaces can be small and don't have to take up much of your classroom. They should have defined boundaries that give a student privacy during a moment of crisis while still allowing staff to safely supervise the student. Calm down spaces should have soft and safe materials with pre-taught instructions on how to use them. A calm down routine structure in an elementary setting may include students providing a verbal or visual request to a teacher to access the area, using a visual timer to set their own time, and then checking in with staff prior to returning to their previous activity. An older student who travels to multiple spaces in the building throughout the day may need a portable calm down kit of calming tools, social stories, and checklists of strategies to help use consistent strategies in all locations. The first few weeks of school, make yourself and your classroom reinforcing by using a high level of reinforcement. As routines and structures become more solid, increase task difficulties and expectations, and decrease reinforcement as needed. It's important to remember that all students benefit from positive verbal praise and feedback, and fading this is not necessary and should be used as a general best practice. For students who spend time in both general education and special education settings, ensure that they have a continuous system of receiving reinforcement in both settings. For additional information, please see the resources available here. For any questions, please contact me, Rebecca Turner. I can be reached at 502-564-4970, extension 4164, or by email at rebecca.turner@education.ky.gov. Thank you for watching this presentation on setting up your classroom for success.